heavy metal source. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm Josh Gilbert and I play bass and do backup vocals for As I Lay Dying.
Alright, so you guys just got done with the Soundwave tour in Australia. How did that work out for you guys?
It was really awesome. I mean, there was a bunch of awesome bands, you know, especially bands we're friends with. I mean, Haste of the Day was on there, Bleeding Through, Seidl, and just a lot of bands here from California, and it was really awesome. The crowds were amazing, except there was actually one night where Nick got slammed in the head with a empty bottle of Maker's Mark liquor, and he actually like passed out kind of, and he was like rambling and like walking around the stage, and like we were trying to help him. He was like, "Don't get away from me!" Like, but it would kind of like cut the show short. So that was I guess a negative thing. But other than that, just seeing Australia and just seeing all those awesome bands, it's really awesome.
Sick. So you guys were on the last leg of the Warped Tour last year.
Yeah, the second half.
How did that compare to the start of this first day of Warped Tour?
What you definitely notice is that even though a lot of these people come back every year to work for Warped Tour, it seems like it's always going to be chaotic the first day. You know, we were the second bands to play today, and there was just a lot of things that weren't worked out yet. So, but other than that, I mean, it's amazingly well organized for how many bands and how many stages there are. Like, very few kinks happen, and I'm always super impressed with the staff at Warped Tour. So it was awesome. So, no complaints.
Anyone you're excited to be sharing the stages with this year?
Oh man, there's a lot of good bands. Like I love Relient K. That might be funny coming from a metal band. I love Relient K. Like Story of the Year, Every Time I Die. Just those bands like that. I'm really good friends with the guys from Maylene and the Sons of Disaster because they're from Birmingham as well. That's where I'm from. And it's gonna be. There's so many friends. It's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good tour. First day's good so far.
Sick. So you guys have Wacken Open Air and Bloodstock Open Air coming up this year. The two pretty big festivals over in Europe. Pretty psyched to be on those this year. Two in the same year.
Man, the At the Gates and like Carcass reunion at Wacken is just going to be out of control. I don't know. Those festivals are always amazing because it's always the biggest and like best names in metal and like all in one place, and you're just like seeing these people and being like, no way, that's Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, or people like that you never would expect play shows with, and you get to see them, and especially like something like At the Gates, and like Carcass. Those are just some of the like originators of our genre. So it's definitely humbling to see bands like that getting back together and stuff.
That's sick. So what kind of music do you usually listen to? Do you listen to music that you play, or more of a different genre of music?
It's all over the place. Like, some of my favorite bands are just on such different extremes. Like, on one hand, on the metal side, one of my favorite bands is the band Decapitated. They're just like, I'm like into like really extreme, like fast, more like grindy type stuff. But then again, like I said, I like love bands like Relient K and like Seidl and stuff like that. Everybody has to listen to something to other than metal every once in a while, or you'll just kind of get jaded on it, I guess. I mean, maybe not super metal dudes, but every now and then switch it up just a little bit.
How do you guys keep yourself occupied when you're stuck on tour, like one like this, or when you're in Australia in a whole other country?
Well, this tour and Soundwave tour are both examples of tours that you don't really get as bored on, because there's bands playing all day, and especially there's good bands playing all day that you want to see. So it's like super awesome. You just go see those bands every day and hang out with your friends who are on the tour. But say if it's like a festival, like a European, like just a normal tour, and you're like hanging out and you're just like, man, there's absolutely nothing to do. I would say I read magazines a good bit, and if we have the internet, of course, I can just get trapped in that for hours. And
you guys gamers at all?
Not really many gamers on our bus. We're DVDers. We actually watched, me and Tim and Mike, our drum tech, watched 2 entire seasons of Prison Break on our last tour, which is 48 episodes and one tour that was 2.5 weeks long. So if you do the math, I know it was intense, but.
Alright, so there's an election coming up.
Oh yeah.
Whatnot? If you don't mind me asking, who do you think you might vote for?
Well, it's a touchy subject with me because as a voter, I don't feel that I have enough information to make an assumption yet. Like I've seen the outside, like the stuff that everyone knows, like that you hear them talking about their campaign speeches, but I don't really know like deep down, like the moral issues and things like that. Just any kind of political issues that like the way they view those things. So at this point, I would say that I'm undecided, but also I don't know, in general I'm pretty apathetic towards politics lately, because it seems like anyone who could get to the level to be even considered as a presidential candidate, it probably got there through means that aren't necessarily the most moral. So I don't know, I go back and forth between if I'm going to even vote or not, but sorry guys, everyone go vote. I just don't know. I don't know about it.
A lot of people call you guys a Christian band, or some people just call you guys, you got 5 Christians in a band.
Right.
What would you consider you guys?
Well, that's another tough question to answer, but it's kind of like this. It's like, if you're a Christian and you're a plumber, you're not going to show up to the house and be like, "What's up, guys? I'm a Christian plumber." But also a lot of the lyrics are, Tim writes the lyrics and he happens to be a Christian, and they come out being spiritual because, that's just what's on his heart. And, we try to, not alienate anyone, because we're a band and we're going to be playing places that Christians are not going to be at. So it's like, you definitely have to be respectful. And, obviously I think shoving a message down someone's throat that's not there to hear it is going to ultimately hurt the band in the long run, or any band. So, we're Christians in a band. If you want to call it a Christian band, you can. If not, then we're 5 Christians in a band.
Since you said you're a big internet fan, you get stuck in the internet for hours and hours a day. How do you feel about people illegally downloading music, torrents, LimeWire, stuff like that?
Man, you're getting me today with these doozies of questions. Here's the thing. I would have to say no comment, because I can't, in 100% honesty, say that I haven't downloaded 25 torrents in the last year. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
Sounds cool. Anything you're excited for coming up besides being on the first half of the Warped Tour? Any other dates besides also the 2 festivals you have?
Well, we're playing in a House of Blues in New Orleans, which is a really one of the nicest ones, and that's why I'm really excited, because I just love New Orleans. And then also we're playing in Birmingham, which is my hometown, and that's going to be just a sweet show to get all your friends come out to, and it's cool to see all your friends there to support you. So,
got any insight into that Austrian death machine?
Insight, you mean?
Yeah, or was that all up with Tim?
No, it's all with Tim. Nick played a solo on the album, but I would say, everything else is all done by Tim, so it's tough, it's awesome. I think it's hilarious, and I'm excited to hear the full CD. I've actually only heard about half of it so far, but
just trying to eke out as much information. That sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, it sounds really good.
All right, thanks for letting us interview you.
No problem.
Cool. Corey with Heavy Metal Source.
Josh from As We Die. Sorry, he looked at me and I was like,
Cool.
Sweet.